First, we construct a unit circle as I have shown in this figure. So this is the region D, which represents the unit circle centered on the origin, and T is the top half of D, and R is the right half of D, B is the bottom half of D. So we should note that any region, if we integrate, which lies above the x-axis, it will have the positive value. And any region below the x-axis, if we integrate that region, it will have negative value. Below x-axis, it will have negative value. So using these concepts, we answered these four questions. In part A, the region is T, that is top half, which means we have to integrate this region starting from -1 to +1. And since this region lies above the x-axis, it will have positive value. So therefore, the sign of the integral will be positive. In part B, we have integral with R, which means right half of the region D. So let's first shade the right half portion. We first remove this. So for part B, this is the region that we are going to integrate. So if we look at it, it has two symmetrical quadrant regions. So one of the quadrant is like this. You can consider this as a quadrant which lies above the x-axis. You can shade it like this. And there is another quadrant below the x-axis. So this is the quadrant of circle like this. You can shade it like this. So these two quadrants will have the same integral value, which means, however, they will be different in signs. So the value of this quadrant, or if you integrate this quadrant, it will have positive value, and this will also have the same numerical value, but it will be negative. Suppose if the value of this positive quantity is somewhat like 5, this will be -5. So we have to basically add these two quantities. When we add these two, it will be 0. So therefore, the answer to this question is 0. Now let's answer the part C. In part C, it is given as B, which means it is the bottom half of T. So we can shade this. Let me just remove this. The bottom half means we have to shade this completely like this. As we know that any region, if it lies below the x-axis and if we integrate it, it will be negative. So the answer to this question is negative. And finally, in part D, we have this region which is given as T, which means it is top half. So which top half is the region which lies above the x-axis. So therefore, the value of this integral will be positive.